there and welcome back to my channel, or if this is the first video of mine you are seeing, then welcome. Now usually my first video of every month is my everyday makeup drawer video. That will be coming up this Wednesday, but I wanted to film this video first because it does go hand in hand with that one, because I always pick out eyeshadow palettes for those videos, but this time I really want to focus, kind of like I did for spring. I wanted more of a summer eyeshadow palette basket, so I have to have my little basket sitting here that is filled with all palettes that I pulled from my collection that I felt reminded me of summer. I definitely think of peachy, warm tones, copper shades, that kind of thing. I do have three palettes maybe with a few pops of color. Well, two of them in general are very colorful, but I feel like they have that really beautiful bright pop that I definitely think of during summertime, because if you see a lot of summer decor, it's very colorful. It's a lot of bright, beautiful colors that I think will be perfect with some of the more neutral palettes that I picked out, especially using the matte shades from those and then using these. But the first one here is from Natasha Denona. This is her mini Biba eyeshadow palette. Now, I always wanted the large Biba, but I never picked it up. I know that's like one of her, I think, what, $130 eyeshadow palettes, but I do have the little mini here, and this has more of those like really pretty peachy, warm leaning shades in it, and this is a type of palette that I really absolutely love because I like simple eyeshadow, and then these small palettes, what you need is right here. You know, you don't have to think about the look you're going to create. It's all laid out here in a very small palette. I do enjoy smaller eyeshadow palettes. I like the larger ones too, don't get me wrong, but with palettes like this, it's just even more simple, and I can definitely see myself getting a lot of use out of this, especially these three shades in the center here, because I definitely like softer eyeshadow when I do wear it, so I can see myself using this. I still sometimes think about that Biba palette, the large one, but I don't need it. I don't need it for sure. And the little mini one should be good enough. Okay, this next little palette, this is definitely not a summer palette per se. This is an all year round palette. Well, now, don't get me wrong. All of these eyeshadow palettes are all year round. You can wear any color eyeshadow, any kind of makeup all year round, it doesn't matter, but being inspired by the seasons, this palette would not be a summer palette per se. But what I really love about this palette is it's all matte, so it's perfect to pair up with one of the palettes I'm going to talk about in just a second that are all shimmer. This is from Milani. This is one of their Gilded Mini palettes. This one is Whiskey Business, and this is such a perfect little palette. I just recently had a video go up on my channel this past Friday if you're interested in seeing this palette in action and swatches and everything, but this is a very simple, well, probably very boring color story for a lot of people, but for me, this is a perfect palette, especially to pair up with some beautiful pops of color, because I'm definitely more like that. I like to pair maybe one little pop of color with more neutral matte shades. That's why I picked this one, not necessarily because this palette reminds me of summer, because this is an all-year palette for sure, but it's more of a companion palette for some of the future palettes I'm going to mention in just a second. But I wanted to bring it up because it is excellent quality, and it's less than $10, and considering how expensive drugstore makeup is getting, I think that's amazing that there is still some eyeshadow palettes less than $10. Okay, we have the next one here, which is from Flower Beauty. This is the Desert Lights eyeshadow palette. This is another one of these all shimmer, very pretty, very metallic-y shades. Like, these look like liquid metal on your eyes. In fact, let me swatch one. I'm going to swatch this shade right here. Let me swatch and just show you exactly what I mean. I mean, these are incredibly beautiful. And this is one of the palettes. Now, this isn't really a colorful palette. This is definitely much more neutral. But this is a palette that would pair beautifully with that Milani palette I was just talking about. Since it's all matte, this is all shimmer, you can pair these shades up with that one easily. And these shades, like these beautiful warm tone, some more coppery leaning shades, would definitely be the perfect ideal palette for summer. They are on sale, or they were on the Ulta website. I don't know if they're discontinuing these or not, so I'm hoping I'll be able to still link this, but this is a beautiful eyeshadow palette. These shades are beautiful. I don't get enough wear out of these, I guess, because I just don't think about this palette that often, but I need to, and it's definitely one that I want to reach for all summer long. The next one is one that has those beautiful warm tones. We do have some pops of kind of like the gold and the coppery rusty kind of colors. Some of those I definitely think of for summer, like the more bronzy vibe. This is from Tarte. This is their Sweet Tarte Double Shot eyeshadow palette, which I don't believe they still make these anymore, and that's a shame, but it's just this really beautiful, it's a very reflective palette, so I don't know. Okay, hopefully you can see it like that with me kind of coming in a little bit closer. It's just a gorgeous warm tone palette. It's so beautiful. The formula on this eyeshadow palette is beautiful. These are more that are also very impactful shimmer shades. Like if you want straight up metallic, look at that. Then you have it. I mean, just because it's neutral leaning does not mean that it's not impactful. And yeah, these shades are beautiful. I'm sorry that they don't make this eyeshadow palette anymore, but I think they recently brought back some of their Tarte lip palettes, and isn't there one called Toasty or Warm or something? I'm not sure if they brought back that one too. I'm sure you can find these beautiful warm tone shades somewhere in Tarte's line if you were interested in Tarte's eyeshadow formula. I think their eyeshadows are really beautiful. They're so easy to work with. It's just easy to blend out. I don't know. There's something that I love about their eyeshadow formula. I have for a very long time, and they have a really nice scent to them. They smell kind of like cookies or like baked goods, and it's just lovely. Okay, this next eyeshadow palette, well, this is a face and an eye palette, but you can use it, you know, all over. I don't know what it is about this eyeshadow palette. I've mentioned it before on my channel that every time I use it, I always love the look I create. This is from Pixie. This is when they had a collab with Hello Kitty, and this is their Chrome Glow palette, which they do still sell this, because I think this was a limited edition collection, but it is still available. You can still purchase it on Ulta. There is nothing that spectacular about this palette, about this formula, or anything like that. I just want to point that out, but every time I use it, I love it more and more and more. I love all the looks I can create with it, because what I love about these is more so for like these a little bit of darker shades, they make the most beautiful one and done eyeshadows, and this is another one that is all kind of shimmer, so it would pair beautifully with an all matte eyeshadow palette. That's another reason. There again, here's another option to pair it with that Milani palette. I mean, any of these palettes, of course, with their matte shades, but you know what I mean. I just think this is a beautiful palette. I don't know what it is about it. I love it, and when summertime comes around, I definitely think of it all the time. I mean, you can kind of see some of the dips I've made in this palette. Like, I'm hoping you can see that. I don't know what it is, but it's just so beautiful. I saw where Pixie recently released, I think, like a face palette with Hello Kitty. I think it's with Hello Kitty. I'd be interested in trying it, even though I know that I'm not the biggest face palette person. I have them and I tend to neglect them, but it is very pretty. And if you can use it on your eyes too, then it probably be a win, kind of like this one. So I might look into it. I don't know. That's probably not a smart decision, but this palette I really do love. Okay, these next two palettes are the ones that I mentioned that have the beautiful, bright, bold pops of color. Now, I don't know if you can still buy these particular palettes, but I believe you can buy all of the eyeshadows like individually. I don't know if they're still being sold in these palettes. These are both from Divina Cosmetics. We have the Mystic Cove eyeshadow palette, and we have, look at all these beautiful, really gorgeous pops of color. I definitely think of summertime when I see this. I mean, these are beautiful. They're very, very impactful. A lot of them are very shifty. Hoping you can see that. I'm not good at showing like shifts and stuff, but they're so beautiful. And this is definitely something that I think of for summer. I don't wear colorful eyeshadow very often. I mean, I'm wearing a slight pop of purple today. I don't know if anybody's even paid that any attention, but I definitely just don't wear color a lot. There's nothing wrong with it. I think it's absolutely beautiful, but I'm definitely much more of a neutral person, but sometimes I do want a little pop of color. More so, I like to pair these shades up with more neutral mattes, which is, these were the two palettes, this one and the one I'm about to talk about, were the ones I really had in mind when it comes to that Milani eyeshadow palette, because that is your everyday basic neutral shades, and then these are your beautiful pops of color. But I think this is a beautiful palette. I don't know if you can buy these in the bundle anymore or not, but what I will do, I will list them all in the description box, like list every single shade individually. So if there was a particular shade you were liking in these palettes, like just by the looks of it here, I can list them for you below and let you know what's in each palette if the palettes are not available, like to buy the bundle. The next one is also from Divina. This is their Sea of Shadows eyeshadow palette, and this is another one that has really beautiful pops of color in it as well, and we have some of these really beautiful blues. See, these are the blues right here that I think more of summertime. They're definitely, to me, not like the wintry blues that you see. These are much more like bright and happy. I don't know. When I think of winter blues, I think of kind of more moody, more dark, more moody. These are a little bit more bright and punchy, and they're just beautiful. This brand does make really beautiful eyeshadows. I say all the time that I want to buy more from them, but I'm definitely someone that I prefer buying from mainstream brands, simply because mainstream brands just usually have the type of makeup I like, so I don't think about indie brands a lot, but this is a brand that their eyeshadows are beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, the next one here, this one is a palette. I know this is going to sound maybe so weird. This palette to me is one that I want to reserve for August, and here's why. This is the perfect summer to fall transition palette if I've ever seen one. This is from Laura Geller. This is her Seasonless Staples eyeshadow palette. This is Wildflower Wishes. First and foremost, this packaging. I love this packaging. It's so beautiful. And then on the inside, we have these gorgeous shades right here. I mean, look at them. I definitely see some shades that would be perfect for a more bronzy, warm tone look for the summer. But then you do have some of these more moodier shades that I feel like would be absolutely perfect for fall. So to me, when I see this eyeshadow palette, I definitely think of going from summer to fall. And that's why I wanted to pick it, because when it comes August time, when we're going from August to September, I'm already in fall mode basically by then. So I feel like this is a beautiful eyeshadow palette to reach for in that month alone. I mean, all year round, it's a beautiful palette. But if you're inspired by the seasons, this is a perfect summer to fall transition palette. Okay, I have 3 here from Natasha Denona. Now this one that I'm about to mention here, this was also in my spring palette basket, but this is a beautiful spring and summer eyeshadow palette. This is her Bloom palette, and we have these absolutely gorgeous warm peachy tones, kind of sorta orangey-ish tones in here. This is a beautiful summer eyeshadow palette. I just think it's so gorgeous. This is one of my favorite palettes from her. I feel like, yes, it just released maybe a few months ago at this point, but it's one that I've still been reaching for. And I will say that I have a lot of eyeshadow palettes, so I don't reach for one individual palette a lot typically because of that. I try to work my way through my collection if I can, especially with my No Pen Left Behind series. But I do keep going back to this one, so for me that says something. Now, my favorite palette from her is the I Need a Nude, but that's definitely not a summer palette if you're going by, you know, inspiration. But this is a gorgeous eyeshadow palette. These tones in here are so beautiful. I know that I've seen some people say that you're basically going to get like one look out of this palette. Well, that's probably true for the most part. It is just this really beautiful peachy vibe. So yeah, all the looks are probably going to look very similar. Does that bother me? Not really, no, because I think these tones are beautiful and I like peachy tones. So this is a perfect palette for me, and it's definitely a good one for summer. The next one is her I Need a Warm eyeshadow palette, and here we have again some beautiful warm tones. We have like some coppery shades. This one goes from like a copper to a green. I don't know if I can show you that. Probably not. Yeah, I don't. Well, maybe you can see it in the mirror there a little bit. Yeah, I can't show you that. But it shifts to like a green. But we have these beautiful warm tone, beautiful warm tone eyeshadows. This is a definitely perfect palette for summertime. I don't know. When it comes to this time of the year, the warm tones are beautiful. They're everything. I just want to put them everywhere, all over my face, and yeah. Of course, now I do love warm tones year round. I need to finally realize that the warm tone shades look the best on me because of my undertone. I do have more of a warm undertone, so palettes like this typically look best on me, but this is a beautiful palette. I mean, amazing quality, which I love most of her palettes anyway. I've never had an issue with any of them. I've never struggled with any of them. I have struggled a little bit with her Circo Loco palette. I almost picked that one for this basket because it does have some colorful shades in it as well, but I don't know what it is about that palette that I just don't want to reach for that one. I don't know. I think when it comes to the pops of color, I'd rather reach for those Divina palettes over that one, so that's why I didn't include it. But, I mean, it is an option, and I think it's still available, but it's $130, so ooh. But I mean, either way, this is a beautiful option. I just think this is a gorgeous palette. And then we have her golden, which, ooh, that reflects, her golden eyeshadow palette. So if you're more into these browns and these more gold-leaning shades, this is another one that is perfect for summertime, especially if you love that more bronzy kind of vibe for the summer. And some of these pops of golds are absolutely stunning. Like if you're someone that loves to go like, you know, walk on the beach or lay out or whatever, not so much getting in the water, mind you, but like you have like this beautiful body shimmer all over and you're walking on the beach and then you want a pop of gold on your lid. Ooh, that's be so stunning. You know, more so you're walking on the beach or laying out, you're not really in the water, because no, I'm not getting in that water. Now, the only way I'd get in water, any bodies of water like that of any kind, is if I'm on a boat. Me, actually, my body in the water, no, but on a boat, yes. Where was I going? Anyway, beautiful, beautiful eyeshadow palette. Definitely gorgeous tones for the summer. I can't wait to reach for this one again. I have not used this one or her I Need a Warm, I believe. I haven't, yeah, I don't think I've used those yet in my No Pen Left Behind, so I can't wait to reach for these next couple of months and really get some good use out of them. I mean, these are beautiful shades. I love the neutrals, of course, so shades like this, absolutely stunning. Okay, then I have one from NYX. This is their Ultimate Warm Neutrals eyeshadow palette, and this is another one that has beautiful warm tones, and we have more of these red-leaning shades in this as well, which I think is definitely beautiful for the summertime, and I just think this is another all around, well-rounded palette. This is beautiful. I definitely, when I look at it, I just, more so, I'll say, like, these two rows right here have, like, the golds and the more red-leaning shades. I definitely get summer vibes from that. I just think this is a beautiful eyeshadow palette. This is another one that I feel like I've reached for quite consistently. I think it's beautiful. It's excellent quality. I know it's like $20, I believe, which is a little bit pricey for a drugstore, but I think the quality in this palette is beautiful. So for me personally, I think it's worth the price point because I have gotten pretty good use out of it, and it's definitely one I want to reach for a lot over the summer. Now, this one has already technically been completed in my No Pen Left Behind, but it doesn't matter. I look forward to using it no matter what. The next palette here, this one has sadly been discontinued from Wet n Wild. This is their Coffee Cat eyeshadow palette. You can see the cute little kitty. And this is another one, well, let me just turn it this way for you. There we go. This is another one that has these beautiful warm copper leaning shades in it. It's just so beautiful. It still has a slight scent to it because it's supposed to smell like coffee, but it's not that strong anymore because this is an older palette in my collection. But this is another beautiful warm tone palette that I just cannot wait to reach for. This palette, I've done many declutters in my collection over the years. This is one I've always kept. I think it's so beautiful. The Ice Cream Bee, which was the companion, or I won't say companion palette, but they released this, the Coffee Cat collection, and the Ice Cream Bee collection at the same time. I still have that eyeshadow palette too. In fact, that one was in my spring basket because it has a little bit more pops of color like pastels, but this palette is summertime. And it's also a beautiful fall palette because I feel like it has those beautiful warm tones that you can also use during the fall, but this is a beautiful palette. I can't wait to use this one a lot more as well. Just so cute. And I love the kitty because I love cats. I think cats are really cute little precious angels, so I love that about that palette too. And the last palette we have here is from ColourPop. This is the Your Golden eyeshadow palette. We got a second palette here that has golden in the name. Now, if this doesn't scream I'm at the beach, then nothing will. Look at this. We have all these beautiful warm tones, and we even have like the pops of blue here for like the ocean. Of course, I think this shade up here is one of those glitter shades, which I probably won't be using that shade for that reason. I don't really like to put glitters around my eyes that much, but the rest of these shades are absolutely beautiful. This is definitely a large beachy palette, and I can't wait to be getting some really good use out of this because it's stunning. It's a beautiful palette. I mean, all these beautiful pops of warmth in here, it just, yeah. This was actually the first palette I pulled from my collection because this is kind of like a go-to for the summertime. I mean, even the front of it, that even looks like sand. And maybe that's what they were going for. I don't remember exactly when this was released, but this is another beautiful option here as well. But that's all the palettes in my collection that I feel like reminded me of summertime. I love to do this. This was a series that I had started on my channel like right around I think it was something that I did when I first started my channel, and then I kind of stopped doing this. But I don't know why, because it's a fun way to go back through your collection and get more use out of eyeshadow palettes for kind of like a little theme here. I mean, of course, these palettes can be used year-round, but it's fun to go back through and, you know, kind of reminisce about eyeshadow palettes that maybe you haven't used in a long time, which some of these I've used recently and some of them I haven't, so it'll be nice to get a chance to kind of use them again over these next couple of months, and hopefully I can no pen left behind the palettes here that I haven't used yet, because some of them I have. But now I'm not sure what palettes are available and what's not. Some of them I knew and some of them I don't, but as I've mentioned many times in these videos, that's not the point of this. This is just for fun. Hopefully it'll make you want to shop your stash and pull out some palettes you think are perfect for the summertime. But whatever I can find, I will link for you, of course, in case you're interested. But I do hope that you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, I hope you will please consider leaving a like, a comment, or subscribing if you haven't already. Make sure you hit the bell icon so you are alerted to all my future uploads, and follow me on Instagram at jessicadeerly. All these products will be listed and linked for you below. They are affiliate links, so if you click there and purchase, I do earn a small commission. And if you choose to do so, thank you so much for supporting me and my channel, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!